Hey guys, welcome to the video and the channel. This is Hacking Modding News, episode 60, part 2.5. I'm doing kind of this half episode because what we are going to be covering here today is regarding some PS4 stuff and then a couple of things regarding the Switch. And in part 1, we already covered PS4 news, and in part 2, we already covered Switch stuff. However, these things that we're covering here today are more recent, and because they've just happened recently, I decided then to do just a half video at 2.5. So this is going to serve as a kind of public service announcement type deal. For those of you who are new to these segments, you can watch either part 1 or part 2. That intro kind of covers it a bit better. There's also a brief summary down in the description. In this one, we'll be covering some dumps that Team Duplex has put out there regarding games, DLC updates, and things like that. Then a pretty big update to Hekate and Nyx for the Switch. Android 10 has now been put out there for the Switch, and it seems to be running pretty damn good. And then a high profile game leaks about a week early, so those who have a modded Switch might be able to take advantage of that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started with the dumps by Team Duplex. So the only thing we'll be covering for the PS4 are more dumps done by Team Duplex. This is like the 11th time or so that this has happened here at PSX Hacks, where Team Duplex dumps games, DLC, updates, things like that, and then they post it here in a thread. So this one is kind of small. There's only really 3 different games on here, you know, when you include the updates and the DLC and stuff. So if you don't see something you like right now, you may want to come back to this post in a few days, because I have noticed over the past few times when they've done these posts letting you know about the dumps Team Duplex has done recently, they tend to add more stuff to the list. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 things, maybe it's a few things, but the list has grown from when I reported it initially. So maybe if you come back in a few days, you might see the list is just a little bit bigger than what it is now, and then you might see something you like. Of course, I cannot put links in the description to any of these things for you to be able to download them directly because, well, it's YouTube. You know how that goes. That pretty much takes care of the PS4 stuff. Let's jump over to the Switch. And next we have an update to Hecate for the Switch. This is now version 5.5.4. Nyx finally goes up to version 1.0. This is compatible with, of course, the latest atmosphere, which is, as of right now, 18.0, and the latest firmware, which as of right now, again, is 11.0.1. There's a lot of changes, improvements, fixes that have been done here, bug fixes and whatnot. Way too much for me to cover. So if you want more details on that, just make sure you come here to the GitHub. The link to this, of course, will be down in the description, and you can read up on all of the fixes and improvements and all of that stuff that they've done. They are quite numerous in this update, so make sure that you get this latest one. Scroll down to the assets, and what you need is in the top zip file here. You can just grab the contents, copy and paste them onto the roots of your SD card, and you should be set. Or you can just use the Hecate bin file and inject it like you normally would. If you're using Cosmos or Deep Sea, then you just need to copy and paste the contents onto the root of your SD card, and then do whatever it is that you do with that bin file for Hecate if you need to rename it or inject it however you normally do. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on to Android for the Switch. So we head on over to XDA, where we see a new version of Android popping up for those of us who have a modded Switch. This is Android 10, and it is based on Lineage OS 17.1. There's a lot of features here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but some of them that stand out is the ability to get OTA updates, full Joy-Con and Pro Controller support with analog sticks and rails, Hori Joy-Con support, an Android TV-based build, optimized dock support with resolution scaling, optimized touchscreen driver, and a bunch of other stuff. There are some known bugs. For example, Shield games are broken, so it tells you here not to buy them. If this is something that interests you, by all means, head on over to XDA. Make sure you read all the instructions. Everything you need is right here. They have installing tips, some general tips and tricks as well. So make sure you read all of those. Now, as of right now, not just here at XDA, but I've seen in other forums such as Logic Sunrise and whatnot, so far, the feedback seems to be incredibly positive. People are talking about how smooth it is, how much of an improvement it is over the previous version of Android that was on the Switch. I suspect that we are going to be seeing tutorials very soon on this. I'm thinking about doing one myself. I have a few SD cards laying around, so I will be setting up an SD card totally dedicated just for this, because I think you may have to set up like a partition or whatever on your SD card in order to get this functioning, but I'm not sure. However, I don't want to mix the two things, so I will be using just a separate SD card. Anyway, if I decide to do that, or if you guys want to see that tutorial, let me know in the comments, or just like the video or whatever. And if I see enough comments or enough likes or whatever, then I'll go ahead and I'll do the tutorial as quickly as possible. But yeah, Android 10, a much better version of Android now running on the Switch. This is something that I've been waiting for, so I am going to be installing it very soon. And lastly, we will wrap up the video with some news that you may have already heard, but just in case you haven't, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury has officially leaked about a week early before the retail release date. This is the complete full entire game. I can confirm that it 100% works. People have already been doing videos on it, showing playthroughs and whatnot. Nintendo has been really busy getting videos being striked and taken down and all that stuff. You know how it goes. Anyway, no one knows really where this leak came from or how it started, but of course it's multiplied and it's all over the internet now. I, of course, cannot post any download links. I'm already on YouTube's naughty list, so you know how that goes. But if you want to have a more in-depth discussion on this particular leak, you can always join my Discord. The link will be down in the description, and then go to one of the Switch channels and we can continue there. But for now, those who have a modded Switch and couldn't wait to play this game, well, they got a little early present. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for the video. Be on the lookout for part 3 either tomorrow or the next day. And you know the deal. If you found anything here helpful, useful, informative, entertaining, just want to throw some love or appreciation towards the channel, best way to do any of that stuff, hit the like, smush the subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell. You know I appreciate you. Much love going out to everyone out there. Be careful, be safe, but have fun, and we will see you on the next one.